the movie's a big deal. And when you have something like this happen, how easy or intuitive or whatever are you on a movie set? Like you say, the little face pull and the cocaine scene was just something you threw in. Are there nerves involved? Are you thinking, oh, you wrote the script, there's so much riding on it that I just wonder what it's like to be in that moment and to be kind of you right now.
To be me. I have been very good about keeping things very small in front of me. So it's like the TV show, whatever I'm doing, I'm a trained actress. And I don't have stage fright, and I know I have like a technique I've been taught to act and to like kind of live truthfully under these imaginary circumstances. So I just think about what I'm doing, and so I really like. I never think about the gravity of a situation, whether it's the Charlie Sheen Roast or any sort of public anything. I just think I'm going to do the best I can, because the nerves and the thinking, it's totally self-sabotage and yeah, it's wasted energy. So I'm good about just being able to focus and do the best that I can do without thinking about what's at stake or whatever. And then to be me right now is very weird. It's very weird. I feel like I'm famous all of a sudden. Like I've been, like kind of recognizable. People would recognize me, but now it's very different, and it's very new, and it's overwhelming, and it's a little scary.
It's going to be harder to do your person on the street interviews now on your show.
Well, I'm on the subway, and it's not like one or two people. It's like the whole car is like wants a picture or something, and yeah, it's overwhelming. It's different.
Well, it's interesting because we've all heard stories about people who are famous, and probably before you were famous, you probably thought, oh, whatever. How bad can it possibly be? No? No,
I mean, I never thought about getting famous. That was never part of my thing. Oh, no, I know that's not what you're saying. But once it was on the horizon as a possibility, it seemed like a real bummer. Yeah, I could see there's no upside. Like the upside is like I sometimes now get free appetizers and like I can get a reservation at a restaurant. I only go to one place in New York. It's like a tea place. And
is that the place in the movie?
Yeah, Alice's Teacup. Yeah. So they don't take reservations, but I can make a reservation there. And but like I swear I don't see another upside. It sucks.
Interesting. So, but don't you think though that it will give you the chance to do different kind of work? I mean, you may not have been able to do a black and white episode of your television show, which no matter how brilliant it was, someone would have said, "Well, it's got to be in color. It's got to be." You might not have, and you're barely in it. It's the Amy Schumer show, and you're barely in it.
Tough sell. They weren't worried about anything else except that I wasn't in it. But that was third season of the show. Just we were like, we're doing whatever we want. And that was the idea I was most excited about. But yeah, you're right. I guess it'll bring me the chance to do more work that I'm proud of. But I really don't know yet. It's very new.
Now that you kind of really know what works, but also know that what works doesn't work every night with people, did you bring that through into Trainwreck at all?
Yeah. Well, for my TV show, I have a theater company. And we all went to this place, the William Esper Studio, and so a bunch of us that graduated from there started. And so Monday nights we meet, and so I come and workshop scenes for the TV show. So it's like a little bit of a built-in audience. So it's kind of like we're testing it.
Can anyone come?
No, you have to be invited. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And but it's like 40, 50 people, and I did the same thing for the movie. But what I learned from Judd was to kind of overshoot and have some different options and then test them in front of different audiences. Because if they don't laugh, you can't. If two audiences don't laugh at a joke, you can't like explain to them like, no, this is funny because. So it's just it's gospel if they laugh or not.
Have you ever figured out why it is that some nights it works through the roof and other nights it doesn't?
Yeah, I blame it on myself. I blame it on the performer. It's but a little bit geography. But usually it's just you. You usually said it wrong with a different rhythm or something, and it just doesn't work as well. But yeah, sometimes it's just that's not a joke that will work in this place.
A lot of the little details we talked about earlier, I love at the end of the movie, and I'm just going to say you do a face plant at the end of the movie, but when you roll, and that doesn't give anything away, but when you roll over, your cheeks are red, and it was just such a nice little,
That was probably natural. Yeah, I was probably really winded. Yeah.
Those little moments add so much, I think, to this.
Yeah. I'm a big... I really subscribe to the idea that we're all human beings, and you know, it's very hard for me to be in like hair and makeup all the time and clothes that I don't feel comfortable in. It's like, you know, because you do this work and make something you're proud of, I feel like you get like punished by like having to be like dressed up like a show poodle. But because I like to get rid of artifice and just be like, yes, I haven't gone to the bathroom in 3 days and I'm hungover, and that's okay.
Frequently in romantic comedy style films, it's the guy who is, you know, a little more reckless. And was that a plan or no?
No, but I mean, a lot of people have brought that up actually, and it was a complete surprise to me that wasn't a thought of I'm playing the male role. It makes sense to me. I know that in most movies it's not this way, but in my real life and in the life of the women that I'm close to, and I think just this age, I've found as somebody who's still out there dating that that the men oftentimes are the more vulnerable of the two and a little more and just more sensitive, mostly about it being over. Because even if you go out once with someone and you're just not feeling it, if a guy doesn't call me back, it's a blow to the ego, but I'm not like, I have a great job, and but for men, and it's funny because I was watching The Bachelorette this week. Did you watch it?
I don't, but I know that you're a fan.
I'm a fan. So this week, one of the guys, he was just feeling rejected, and he just like kind of turned on her. Like she didn't do anything to him, but he's like, you know, my ex-girlfriend was twice as hot as her, and I think the male ego is way more sensitive than the female ego, and so, it was not a conscious decision to reverse the roles. That's really been my experience.
Right. Bill Hader, also, listen, that is so funny, and such great chemistry with you, such great chemistry with LeBron James.
I know.
I would not have seen that coming.
It was so... LeBron was just like a complete gift from heaven. Like we didn't know he was going to be hilarious and a good actor. Like that was completely... just such a gift. And him and Bill just because Bill, like myself, does not watch sports.
Either do I. Okay. Either do I. And so when the sports stuff started to filter into this movie, I thought, oh no, I don't know if I'm going to get all this. No,
if I wrote it, you're going to get it. Like I do not care about sports. Like that's a real thing. And neither does Bill. So I think that took away the, like, neither of us were intimidated by LeBron at all. It was just like, hey, you know, I've never seen him play basketball still to this day, except for in the scenes. And so I think he just felt very comfortable. We were just treating him like a person. And then Bill just, you know, a bunch of guys auditioned and they were great. Some of my favorite actors. And it was just no question. We just hit it off. We hadn't met before the audition. We were just like, oh my God, this is so great.
Have you watched this movie with an audience?
Yeah, I was at,
the test screenings.
I watched the test screenings, but I've seen this cut. I saw it at South by Southwest. Right. And it was the best night of my life so far. Really? Yeah. The crowd I was so blown away. I kind of didn't think about the fact that we were going to be seeing the movie with an audience, and they were just, yeah, it was so cool. It was like you were saying, like they were laughing at jokes, and then they would miss the next joke because
that's what happened to us.
That's so nice.
Yeah, is we miss stuff, so it's the kind of thing you have to see it a couple of times. Yeah, you do.
Again. Yeah.
Do you have a stack of scripts at home that you've been working on, or is it just sort of like, now this is done, now we'll think about the next, we'll get the show done, the TV show done, and then we'll start working on another film?
I'm rewriting a movie that Kate Dippold wrote with my sister. Kate wrote The Heat, and she wrote the new Ghostbusters and Parks and Rec, and such a funny script. You know, I've gotten sent a bunch of stuff, and this was the one I was like, oh yeah, this is great. It's about a mother and daughter, and if they make it, then I'll play the daughter. Yeah, and I'm just doing stand-up, and, you know, hopefully gonna write a book, and I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do.
It's cool right now, though, right? It's cool to have the possibilities. I mean, because there must have been a time when those possibilities weren't so much apparent for you.
Yeah, I was just like, I hope I get 2 shifts this weekend.
Did you like bartending? I liked bartending well enough.
Oh, no.
No.
I hated it.
Yeah.
I hated it. I hated people feeling entitled to your conversation and time because they were tipping you like $1 a drink. That felt that's why like with meet and greets or something after a show, I like forced me. It's very creepy to me. And
they do seem weird to me, that whole like picture, that.
Yeah, it's just like a little bit of a meat market. And then the customers, it was also the places I was working. In New York, I bartended in Times Square. It's a place called Bluefin, and it was like, it was really intense. And then it was always like, I wanted to make money, so it was these kind of fancy places, and so the customers were jerks. And so eventually I just was like, I can't talk to people anymore. I just need to be the service bartender, and I would just make drinks for the waiters.
Yep.
So I could just... One time Adrian Grenier came in, and I had like promised myself I wasn't going to talk to customers anymore. And he came back, he's like, where's the bathroom? And I was like, and I just pointed downstairs, which is where the dishwashers were. So he just like, I'm going. He came back up and I went, yeah. I was like, I took an oath.
I took an oath never to speak to another customer.
I was sweeter when I was waiting tables.
Yeah. Well, you're not confined. You're not trapped.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. I don't do a good job of being playing pretend with people. And if I don't like someone, like I'm not sunny to them, like it's true. I just, I know like women are supposed to be like very like pleasing to everybody, but I've just never been that way.
So what do you hope for the movie? I mean, obviously you hope it's a big success, but I mean, what do you hope beyond that?
I haven't thought about that. I hope it's a big success, more for like everyone else who worked on it, because I have no like financial stake. I'm already proud of the movie. The movie's already a success to me. So, and my peers like really like it, and I got to get my friends work, and they did great in it. And so, and beyond that, I hope that it changes people's perspective who see it. I hope people are a little less likely to judge, and women feel more empowered, and yeah.